So when he comes on set, heavy-handed, swinging that lightsaber, and Darth Vader, heavy-handed. I mean, it's like, you know, we're playing pretend, right? Like, you don't have to actually try to kill me.
Let's please bring to the stage Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen!
Hello, everyone.
Hi!
This is an amazing turnout. There's so many of you. Wow.
I thought it was going to be way colder in here, but y'all are turning the heat up. I think I get some makeup on here. Wow. Love you. This is kind of reminding me when Kevin Smith came out late for a panel years ago, and I came out and I started singing to the audience. We've come a long way. Now you guys are singing for us. This is kind of cool. I like it.
And
You can sing for us, too. I would love that.
she's back there dancing for real. You were having the best time. I was like,
I was doing the Running Man back there. Like, it was a lot. So if I'm sweating,
because you have the heels on. I like it. I like it. You guys have known each other for a while. Can you tell that story when you guys met? It's 16? How old were you?
Yeah,
we were teenagers.
16-year-old little babies.
Yeah, we first met in theater school when we were kids, really.
Yeah.
And I remember it really well because you'd already done the movie Kids, and I went to this acting class, and you were there, and I was so starstruck. But you were so sweet and nice and just so kind. And I remember there was like a group of kids going out for lunch one day, and you invited me to come along, and I really appreciated that. But yeah, so we've known each other for a while. And then we did a film, Shattered Glass, together. So we go back.
I even dated your brother for like a half a second.
I wasn't going to say, but...
That did not come up in my research.
It was a half a second. It really was. How is T? No, I'm kidding.
He's good.
How fun was it then to shoot your scenes together?
Incredible. Also, the energy on set, like people were crying. You know, everyone on a Star Wars set is a true believer fan. And that's one of the things that I loved, even being there on Mandalorian and on Boba Fett and just talking to everyone in the crew, like the grips, hair, makeup, like sound, everyone. You know, they're like, I saw a making of Star Wars VHS when I was a kid and knew that this is what I wanted to do for a living, and now I get to do it every single day. So when he comes on set, heavy-handed, swinging that lightsaber, and Darth Vader, heavy-handed. I mean, it's like, you know, we're playing pretend, right? Like, you don't have to actually try to kill me. I took you out to lunch that time. Come on, let's be nice. We're friends.
But then actually, I do want to talk a little bit about the training. I know that you had a chance to sort of swing the lightsaber with the family and lightsaber with the family, doing that type of stuff. And for you, Rosario, your shoulders just constantly burned. I mean, you had to learn a lot to make this work and look believable, especially because the animation sets one stage and real human bodies set something different. And to bring that to it, right? Tell me a little bit about your training.
I mean,
well, I think you did a lot more than I did. The amount of fighting that she does in the series is pretty remarkable, and so she was having to learn so much, and I was so impressed with your lightsaber skills and how seriously you took it, and getting to fight with you was just too much fun.
And he's definitely been practicing in between, as he's talked about, because again, heavy-handed. I was like, oh my God, so intense. It's really great. It was really just, one of the things that I thought was so remarkable watching you do these films all these years ago after we were in acting class together and we did Shattered Glass, and it was just sort of like, wow, to see, just the range of just what you can do physically in performance, and we got to play with that a little bit in acting class, just very method, drop falling on your head and how you feel it. But to kind of really be able to, this is the first job for me really of experiencing what it is to be super physical for a role, and that being the character. And doing the training to the point where that started to feel real and feel grounded in me and feel natural in any kind of capacity was when I felt like I was dropping into the character. And so it was magical, and it felt like such a validation having you on set. Like, I think that felt like for everybody, like, it just was really crossing over that feeling of the shows and the films and the animation. Like, it suddenly was all coming together, and the breadth of it was just breathtaking.
I don't know if you know this about Rosario, but you need her to manifest things for you in your life, because that woman decides it's going to happen, and it does. And I wanted to talk about how you came to land the role. The story is amazing.
I mean, boss logic, where you at? I mean, a fan cast is just the most insane thing, and, he drew me also as She-Hulk. That didn't work out. Also, both really physical roles. But, this was something that I saw online. I reposted, and it got before Dave and everyone. And then as they were, John and him were creating Mandalorian together, it was always in the back of Dave's mind that he'd always wanted to bring this character to life, and it just happened to work out that we're in our 40s at this exact time, Ahsoka and I, and we had this connection. Who could have ever thought? And so, these posts that happened on Twitter, like years earlier, suddenly became significant. And I'll never forget that moment. I was filming on this show, Briar Patch in New Mexico, and they both called me up on Skype, because this is before like Zoom became all the thing. And, he's showing me that Dave's been drawing me as this character now since the first season, and going, if this goes off well, we would like to bring Ahsoka into the second season, and I've had you in mind. And I was so glad. Talk about having a Wi-Fi problem moment that I was so happy about. Because I was spasming. I thought I was going to maybe have a seizure. My eyes was twitching, and I was really trying to keep it together. And then the internet really wasn't working. It was we need to push this to a call. And I was like, thank God. Because I was crying. I was sweating. I was pacing in my house and trying to keep it cool. But I was like, did he just draw me as his character? From Boss to Dave's mouth to Lucas to John to Star Wars. Oh my God.
To this.
To this.
To this.
Yeah.
Hayden, for you reprising this role, how did you approach it this time around with 2 decades behind you?
Well, I first thought about approaching it from the left, and then I realized I'm going to come at it from the right. And then I thought, you know what, my best bet is just to approach it head on. And so I approached it head on, is what I did. But no,
with swagger.
I know the character really well, but this is a version of the character that I'd never explored before, so there was new stuff there to discover, and to do it with you was just the coolest thing. You see her in the full getup, and it's just totally transformative. You don't see you anymore, and that was pretty mind blowing. Just as your friend, to watch you disappear into this character, and to get to sort of discover the dynamic of that relationship, and it all just kind of started to click and feel really good, and obviously Dave Filoni was guiding us all the way through, and I don't know, it was a very special process.
The fan support, I love it. I have to ask, we've talked to other actors in the show, and we always ask, tell us just a little bit about Dave Filoni. And everyone, I have to just ask both of you guys, tell me what you think about him.
I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
He really is. He's the real deal, you know. An incredible creative person, you know, director, producer, writer, just, you know, he's a visionary. And I was thrilled to get to work with him.
Mm-hmm. I get emotional because it's just like, he is, you know, he is my father. You know, like, it's just like, it's just, you know, he just is such an encyclopedia for us, you know, and his just love for this world and everything he's created and every detail that he puts into it and how much heart there is. And just like fun that he has, you know, like Godzilla's his favorite character and movie, and like, you know, he just nerds out with all of us, you know, about all the things. And he would rib me because all of my references would be Star Trek and, you know.
Total Trekkie, confirmed.
It'd be like wrong space opera, you know. But he also knows it like the back of his hand as well because he's a total nerd, just like all the rest of us, which is super awesome. And so we just had so much fun, you know what I mean? He's got, with the pressure, you know, the mantle that he holds, the position that he has, the power and just the responsibility. And he's just on set with us every day, just so chill and so awesome and so accessible and so ready, like just so, like, it's so magical still for him, you know. And it's kind of wild because it's been nearly 2 decades, you know, that this has taken over his life. And, you know, just that fact that he relishes it, it's like, I have that, you know, I would be on set every day. And one of the things that was super cool was, you know, a lot of the crew had been on Mandalorian and then going Boba Fett and, like, you know, just kind of back to back before coming onto our show. And, you know, people were really exhausted. And they were like, yeah, but we're ready to jump into this because, you know, Rosario and Dave, like, we just know they're going to keep the energy up. And I remember, like, you know, some of the crew telling me that they had told that to people, like, you know, Rosario comes on and every single day is like, we're making Star Wars, like, just getting, like, super excited, like, ah! And someone new had come onto the set and was like, yeah, but is she going to be able to do that for 6 months? And they were like, yeah. That's exactly now. 6 months in, I was like, yeah, we're making Star Wars! Like, it's just like, I had this moment, like, when we were shooting the last episode, now where I can talk about because it's out. And I'm Ahsoka the White at this point, and we have this camera on my back, and you're in the volume, and we're doing this last big battle with all of these undead stormtroopers, and they're coming at us, and I felt like I dropped into VR. Like I'm in the outfit, their camera's behind, it's just, like, you're only seeing Star Wars, top to bottom, all over, and I'm holding my sabers, and then they light up. And they go, action, and I'm just standing there like, this is so cool. And they're like, yo, you're gonna move? Like, they're blasted you. Like, I was like, they ain't got good aim. Like, I'm fine. Like, it's good. Let's go.
We had Natasha join us here this morning, and she said about you specifically, that woman is happy at 5 a.m. She said there is no reason to be happy at 5 a.m. It was very sweet. Yes. I love it. It's a good energy to bring to the set.
Yeah.
Hayden, I have to ask you, how do you handle the passion and the love of the fan base, especially because for you have been in this world now for so long?
It's the most amazing fan base. Yeah. I was just noticing I have quite the collection of bracelets, and actually I was given a couple. I do have them that were meant for you.
I was gonna say I'm really short on some. Thank you.
It's from someone here, I'm sure. But seriously though, all of the support and love that we felt it means the world to us. And so, you know, to get to be here with all of you and meet so many of you, it's really a special thing, and I want to thank you all for coming out and being a part of this.
"Ah, so cool." I used to annoy everybody on set. I'd be like, "Ah, so cool," and I was like, I can start a soap line, Ahsoka, and do like a bath salts, Ahsoka, and I could have my own socks, Ahsoka. One of these days, that's how I'm going to retire. It's going to be me and her universe. You know what I'm saying?
Solid merch line. I like it. Approved. Print it. This set, both of you have this really impressive body of works, and I'm wondering for you if this cast and the way that you connected with them maybe differs. It feels like from hearing your stories that it is a family in a unique and special way that's once in a lifetime, twice if you're lucky, when it comes to the sort of work you do. Would you agree? How would you characterize it?
Definitely once in a lifetime, and for me, kind of twice in a lifetime. Yeah. But it very much is a family, and you feel like you're a part of this family for life. And when you get to meet new actors that are brought into the fold, it's meeting a new family member.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a trip, and I have to say we had a really dope reunion today. My Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah. I'm gonna go in to have dinner with Tara and Rachel later, and and having people talk about like Jane the Virgin or just like these different like communities that I got to be a part of. I kind of stepped in similarly like this late as an established family and being welcomed in, and just feeling so grateful. And so I just found out I had ADHD last year, which I don't know how I didn't know that earlier. Kind of crazy. And I just realized I was really blessed because because of Boss Logic, totally changed my life with this. But I started with kids. I was discovered into acting, so it was just like these. I can pinpoint these exact moments where my life took a complete turn. And when I just think of how my brain works, I don't know what I would have done otherwise had I not ended up in being able to do what I do now. But I'm just constantly and forever grateful of all of these families that I get to be a part of, and just sad that I'm such a hermit and I don't really spend as much time with you guys afterwards. I'm just a workaholic. But I love being with all of you, and I just love, people try to ask like, what's your favorite moment? But I grew up doing this. I've been doing this since I was 15. This is actually my 30-year acting anniversary. So next year will be 30 years we know each other. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
It's so wild. It's perfect timing from kids to grandkid, because I'm a grandma now. I'm telling everybody, some of y'all seen my baby today, my little grandbaby. It's just like the most beautiful thing to share. I've seen so many of your kids grow up, over the years, and just these shared moments that we have. And so I just thank you, because it's because of you that we get to keep doing what we do and have these moments of these touchstones to kind of keep growing it and our time with each other, So thank you.
What has it been like sharing the work and what it represents with your own family, your daughter, eventually your grandbaby, your kids? It's multi-generational.
Does your family watch? Do they tell you?
A little bit. I haven't gotten my daughter into it yet. I'm working on that one still. But I'm looking forward to getting to share all this with her one day. One day.
That's so dope. Maybe not right, yeah. My daughter, I didn't even know she was watching until, my family always plays it so cool. And then my daughter just, we're talking on the phone. I was like, okay, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. She was like, wait. Did you die? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she goes, did you die? Because her boyfriend's like, no, she died. She went over the cliff. She's dead. And so I'm just saying, I'm like, but it's your show. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, are you watching my show? And you didn't even tell me? She was like, yeah, but did you die? And I'm like, no, baby. Watch the next episode.
I'll ask both of you in the remaining time that we have. Hayden, what do you want your legacy to be as an actor?
I don't think that way, but to get to be a part of Star Wars and to get to play this character, that's really been the biggest blessing in my professional life. And And I suppose this will be my legacy. So it's a pretty cool thing, you know. As a creative person, you hope to create things that will kind of outlive yourself, you know. And I feel like with Star Wars, we get a bit of that, which is really cool.
Amazing.
I met Carrie Fisher at a con in Chicago. And I'll never forget, like, she was the last person there, like, with her little dog.
Yep.
And people just lined up. Like, everyone was packing up. All the other booths were shut. But people just lined around the whole arena to still see her. And I think I went out to eat, and then I went back to my hotel, and then I saw her walking her little dog outside. And I was that annoying person. I was like, I'm so sorry to bother you. I know you've been busy all day, but I love you so much. And she was like, and I was like, I understand. Lo siento. And I started to walk back, and I remember going back into the hotel through the revolving doors, and my Uncle Gus, everyone go shout out to my Uncle Gus Vasquez, comic book artist, and he's waiting for me by the elevator, and then all of a sudden I see his eyes like this, and he's like, oh my God. So I turn around, and Carrie Fisher's coming in, like booking it, coming in, and it's like, yo, my assistant told me who you are. I really, because I didn't know that. But she, I think, said scene's like 7 pounds or something, and she was like, oh, I really enjoy your work. Like, you know, I'm just tired, you know, whatever, but just like blessings to you. And I was like, okay, like, try not to like keel over. I was like, trustful. And it just was the most incredible moment. So I don't know what my legacy is going to be. Hopefully it's just being a storyteller in some capacity. Like, I just think that's the most incredible thing that we can do, that I've been able to do for a living, put myself into other people's shoes and try to imagine their worlds and be honest with it. And there's plenty of characters I played I do not like, who make choices I do not agree with. But it's expanded my horizons and my perspective to do so. And I'm so grateful to be a part of storytelling like that with Rent. You know, thinking about what Jonathan Larson created, how many people had never met a trans person or people who were squatters. I grew up in an abandoned building, so to see like my life story being protagonist in a film was so remarkable to me. And, you know, just that gift that we have of expanding people's horizons, of just kind of allowing people to experience someone, not just as distraction, you know, but really as connection, as building empathy with each other. And I just think that's just the dopest thing in the world. So I hope I get to do it forever. I hope AI doesn't stop us from doing it. Come on, man. I love this job.
I will say, while you're telling the Carrie Fisher story about staying late, I know that you are staying to continue to do autographs. If you have one of those tickets, do stick around in the room. We'll make an announcement. I would like to remember this, and I would like to take a selfie with you guys before we send you off to your work, if that's all right.
Let's do it.
All right, thank you guys. This is really incredible. Oh, I see the bracelets. I love this. Guys, give it up as loud as you can, please, for Rosario Dawson and Hayden Christensen.
Hi, this is Aaron Douglas, Chief from Battlestar Galactica. You are watching Fandom Spotlight. Have fun and follow your fracking fandom.